Let's be honest, jobs just aren't worth it anymore. Your boss just rejected your request for a raise, but expects you to handle the workload of two people. And in the meantime, you're watching your dreams slowly slip away while you help somebody to build theirs. Now, since you've probably never seen me before, I'm Fred, and I went from making $0 per month as a low middle class dude to making over $1,200 per day with my online business using a simple 4-step process. Now, I've put together a free video training that shows you exactly everything I did step by step so you can copy me. The link is in the description. And to thank you, when we get to 30,000 subs, I'll give away $2,000. Watch the video until the end, subscribe, and share with a friend to win. I talk to dozens of corporate professionals every month who feel trapped in a system that takes more than it gives. And their stories, their backgrounds, reveal a painful truth that nobody wants to admit about today's corporate world. For example, one marketing director told me how he missed his child's important milestones for 3 years in a row because of emergency deadlines. Each time he was promised that things would change, but of course, as you can guess, they never did. A talented developer literally created a system that generated millions for her employer. Her reward, you may wonder? A small bonus and more responsibilities. No equity, no life-changing raise. Just higher expectations and the privilege of making somebody else rich. An account executive described working 70 hours a week only to watch half of his commission go away just like that because of a corporate restructuring. And of course, when he questioned it, he was reminded of how fortunate he was to be employed in the first place. And these aren't isolated incidents. This is literally the new normal. And with the rise of artificial intelligence, lots of jobs are bound to disappear in the next few years. And it also exposes a very uncomfortable truth about corporate jobs in 2025. The math simply doesn't work anymore. And not even just financially, even though that's a big part of it. The math of time doesn't work. Of well-being. Think about your own situation for a moment. When was the last time your income outpaced inflation? When was the last time you finished a workday feeling energized rather than drained? When did you last feel your compensation really reflected the value that you gave? For most people, these questions expose the broken promises of employment. The truth you need to accept right now is that the system wasn't designed for you to win. I saw it myself growing up in the lower middle class. My father was a nurse, my mother a nursing assistant. They were breaking their backs only to earn breadcrumbs and to be treated like garbage at work. The higher-ups didn't give a damn about them. The system was designed to extract maximum value out of you while paying you just enough to keep you coming back again and again and again. And that's not cynicism. That's literally business 101, and I would know because I run a business. A company's primary obligations are to its shareholders, not to you. The evidence literally surrounds us. Wages have remained essentially flat for decades when adjusting for inflation. When productivity has skyrocketed, the gap between executive and worker compensation has expanded to obscene levels. Job security has become a relic of the past. But here's what's truly alarming. Even as the rewards of employment diminish, the costs of life keep increasing. The cost to your health, with health-related issues at their all-time high in corporate executives. The cost to your relationships, with divorce rates over 55% for people working more than 50 hours per week. Even the cost to your identity, as you gradually become your role instead of the person that you wanted to be. And worst of all, the cost to your potential, as you utilize your skills, your knowledge, your passion, your intelligence to build somebody else's dreams instead of yours. Now let me be clear, I'm not suggesting you should quit your job tomorrow without a plan. That would be completely irresponsible, especially if you have a family. At the end of the day, you need to put food on the table. What I am saying, however, is that long-term, staying in this situation, in this system, that exploits you instead of rewarding you appropriately might not be the smartest choice. So what's the alternative? How do you escape this hamster wheel without jumping into financial chaos? The answer isn't quitting your job to become a digital nomad or selling dropshipping products. It's not creating a course that nobody buys. And it's definitely not posting random dances on TikTok or inspirational content in hopes to get viral and to be monetized with brand deals. The real answer is much simpler. Leverage what you already know into something that people pay premium prices for. Every corporate professional or working professional in general has accumulated skills, knowledge that are very valuable. The tragedy is most people never package this value, this knowledge, this skill in a way that directly benefits them. So let me share with you what I've discovered after helping hundreds of employees transition from having a regular 9-to-5 job to building a profitable consulting business remotely. So this isn't about building a complex business or betting your financial future on a trend that's going to disappear in a few months. It's about solving painful problems for people who would gladly pay for it. For example, You could be a financial analyst that helps businesses to increase their cash flow by 30%. You could provide a done-for-you lead generation service to help businesses to get more leads. You could be a project manager that helps entrepreneurs to utilize systems and processes to save 20 hours per week. You could be a former HR director that helps companies to reduce turnover by improving their brand culture. And you don't even need to solve business problems. Personal problems are often worth a lot more. People will literally pay thousands to avoid a divorce, to get more dates, to lose weight or get in shape, to get more confidence, or simply to learn a skill. As long as you can help someone to fix a painful problem, whether it be in their life or in their business, people will gladly pay you premium prices for it. And when you do this, charging $1,000 to $10,000 per customer, it's not unreasonable. And that is where the math starts working again in your favor. At $2,000 per customer, you only need 5 customers to make $10,000 per month consistently. Now compare that to selling a $50 product where you would need to get 200 sales just to hit the same target. Which path seems most achievable to you? The beauty of its approach is its simplicity. You don't need a massive audience, you don't need complex technology, and you don't need investors or inventory. You just need to figure out what problem to solve and for who. And then create a specific offer around it and charge a premium price. One conversation with the right prospects is worth far more than 10,000 followers who are never going to buy anything from you. Now, of course, most people won't take this path. They will keep complaining about their job while watching Netflix after work. They will keep hoping for a promotion that will barely cover inflation. They won't keep dreaming of retirement at 65 if they can even afford it by then. Why? Because to a lot of people, building your own income source feels risky compared to receiving a paycheck at the end of the month. It feels safe and secure, comfortable. But that's actually backwards thinking. In 2025, depending on a single income source is the riskiest thing ever. You're one budget cut, one recession, one company restructuring away from having your income vanish just like that. But when you build your own client base, you build real security. If one client leaves, you find another. You are in control. And control is exactly what the corporate world takes away from you on a daily basis. Control of your time, because they keep demanding more hours from you without additional compensation. Control of your attention, as they keep interrupting you with endless meetings and emails, etc. Control of your creativity, because they channel your ideas into their profit centers. And they control your growth, because they limit your advancement to their predetermined paths. I recently spoke with someone who had been working 8 years in the same company, and they had regularly been promised a leadership role. And when they finally started hiring, they hired externally. So he spent 8 years waiting for an opportunity that never arrived. So how much of your life are you willing to gamble on promises made by corporations who have no obligation to keep them? So the alternative I'm describing to you today, it's not just about making more money, even though it's certainly a part of it. It's about reclaiming ownership over your most valuable asset, which is your time. Imagine in the morning waking up without an alarm, or working whenever you choose, when your energy is at its highest. Imagine taking a Wednesday off just because you feel like it, because you want to. Not because you've accumulated enough PTO to request time off work. Imagine selecting projects and customers based on interest rather than obligation. Working with customers you genuinely feel a connection with. Creating value that feels meaningful. Doing what you love, instead of just providing more profits for shareholders. And this isn't just fantasy. This is how thousands of corporate professionals all over the world live nowadays after making the shift from their career to starting a consulting business. All you need to achieve the same is to follow clear, repeatable steps. At the end of the day, business is simply mathematics. If you hit the right numbers, the right targets, you're going to make more money. It's simple. First, you want to identify a knowledge, a skill, a passion, or an interest you have that other people would be willing to pay for. Second, you want to package this knowledge, skill, interest, or passion into an offer that could help your niche to solve their painful problems. Third, you want to price your solution based on the value it creates, not on the time it takes you. And fourth, you want to have direct conversations with people who could benefit from what you have to offer. That's it. You don't need a complex funnel, venture capital, tens of thousands of dollars in startup capital, or millions of followers. Just valuable solutions to people who are willing to pay for it. So is it going to be uncomfortable at first? Of course it is. Anything worthwhile is. But what's the alternative? Wasting your time, your energy, your money in a corporate world that barely recognizes the value that you bring, that barely pays you enough to keep up with inflation? The corporate world has made one thing extremely clear. No one is going to value your time or your expertise more than you. A corporation will not prioritize your financial future and security more than you. No one will create the life that you want except you. Jobs are simply not worth it anymore. Not because the work itself lacks value, but because the traditional employment system no longer serves the people who created that value originally. So the choice is yours. Are you going to keep playing this game, being trapped in a system that works to make someone else richer? Or are you going to focus on building the life of your dreams, getting paid what you're actually worth? The choice is yours. Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, to help you, I've recorded a free training where I share with you in detail how I went from $0 to $1,200 per day, with most of it being profit in my early 20s. I share with you all the secrets, and right now, I'm offering free strategy calls where together we identify what's blocking you and we come up with a game plan for you to get to $10,000 per month as quickly as possible. The link will be in the description below, but be quick because our limited spots fill up extremely quickly. With that being said, I will see you on the other side.